Don't Starvers! Welcome to episode number 5 of the Don't Starve Survival Guide. Alright, so this time around we're going to be talking about preparing for winter and actually surviving the winter. So, one of the things that is important about winter is when winter comes, nothing but trees will grow. So all of these saplings, all of the grass, all of the berries, all of the farms will be absolutely worthless. Now, admittedly, if you go into winter and the berry bushes are already full of berries, then of course you can pick them off the bushes, the berries won't fall off, but once you pick them, they won't grow back until spring. And the same is with all of the other things. So, usually it's best to make sure that they're fully harvested, and then when it starts getting closer to... Oh my. Come here, little buddy. Let's see, control, right there. Oh, that was interesting. Caps Lock did that. Alright, come here. Come here. You know you want it. Die! Ah, I didn't catch him in time. Try that again. Whoopsie daisy, I dropped all of my berries. Well, I only dropped one. Alright, so the objective is to catch him before he actually gets to the berries. There we go. Well, darn it, I'm full up on stuff. Alright. Well, we'll harvest this. And go ahead and just make something out of all of that. There. Haha! So you see how the lightning rod protected my stuff? Otherwise, that lightning bolt could have set everything on fire, and it would have been an absolute disaster. Alright, so back here, we get those drumsticks. Okay, so anyways, as I was saying, go ahead and make sure all of your stuff is harvested beforehand. Get your planning done, but when it starts getting close to the season, which you can usually tell by how the day-night cycle goes, the days get really short and the nights get really long as winter approaches. Just like in real life, it's very close to reality that way. It's very nice. But just make sure that when it starts getting close to winter, you leave everything on. You leave everything untouched, basically. You can run out and forage other places, which is great. But when it gets to winter, ideally you want to have like all of these saplings, all of this grass, everything all grown up and ready to harvest close to home. Because when winter comes and you need something right away, it's a pain in the butt to go out in the cold and hunt around for things. So it's always best instead to try and have everything prepared ahead of time and make sure that you've got everything you need right at your home base. So in preparation for winter, you want to make sure that you've got plenty of grass. You're definitely going to need it to refresh your traps, for one, as well as just anything else you might come across. You also want to have plenty of twigs. You don't have to worry so much about logs because trees will still grow. You can always go out and harvest logs. But grass and twigs you can run out of very easily. So make sure you're fully stocked up on those. As far as food, when it comes to wintertime, your main resource for food is going to be meat. I usually stick with rabbits. That's one of the reasons why I always like to camp really close to a bunch of rabbit holes. Speaking of which, oh, I don't have space in my inventory for that right now, but we will deal with that shortly. There we go. Plenty of space. And also nice and full. So, oh dear, got to replace another trap. And this will happen all through winter too, because you're going to be using these like crazy. Go ahead and set up another trap here. And you see how quickly I got down to so little grass and so few twigs? Yeah, expect your entire winter to be like that. You are going to get down to nothing by the end of it, and trying to run around and scavenge things in the cold, cold winter is going to be very difficult. Let's see here. I'll go ahead and set up my campfire so I don't have to worry about it too much. But I think, there's my axe. I think I'll go ahead and chop some logs here too. I'll get this tree out of the way. Now, speaking of going out and getting all of your supplies, like logs and, you know, in the emergency, twigs and grass and things like that, whenever you venture out, you're going to want two things. Number one, you're going to want nice warm clothing. Oh, it's getting too late for me to do that. Okay, I'll get back to camp. Okay, so for one, you're going to want nice warm clothing. So in the dress department here, it's good to have a sewing kit because your winter wear will actually wear out over time. But as far as actual clothes, you've got your rabbit earmuffs. They don't provide much warmth, but it's better than nothing. It provides a little bit of insulation, and they're really easy to make. Just 2 rabbits and a twig. Then we've got your winter hat, which is really nice. It requires 4 beefalo hair, which we already went out on a previous episode and shaved the beefalo. You don't have to kill them for these. It can be pretty hard to kill them. You have to do a lot of kiting, and you have to do a lot of, you know, gauging and dodging and stuff like that. And for spider web, silk. There we go. So, yeah, we've already got the beefalo wool. We'll worry about the spider wool today. Let me just drop off some stuff I don't need. I'll keep this monster meat on me because I'll get those while I'm collecting spiders, but we don't need the manure. Hi, Sid. My kitty says hi. Oh, great. Where did I put those spiders anyways? They're way down here. Okay, let's make sure I've got everything on me. So I've got my spear, got my log suit. I can afford to go pay my friends the beefalo a visit. As a note, my bird trap went off. I didn't have to bait it. That is another good thing to have in the winter time is if you can make it, if you can... Ooh, okay, good. It's always kind of hairy to tell, but you can tell they went through mating season because there's little calves around, but they're not dangerous because their butts aren't red. Their butts will actually turn red when it's mating season. They will get very hostile towards you and everything else. So, this is a good spot to be in. We'll just kite our person over here. Let's get a spear in hand just in case. Run down the road, run up the road, run down the road, run up the road. Come on, beefalo, save me! Alright. That's one down. Come on. You can do it. There we are. And that's what we're looking for. Yay! Excuse me, fellas. I need all this stuff. You're in my way. Okay, good enough. Well, so much for dropping off manure. I just picked up a whole ton of it. But that's okay, because we've got plenty of time until winter. As you can see, the days are far longer than the night-dusk cycle. So that's a clear sign that winter is not coming anytime soon. We've got tons of time, but I am, you know, at some point, once we get through the whole preparation thing, I'll make sure to fast forward all the way to winter so I can actually show you the survival part of getting through the winter time. We'll run down here to see our spiders. Now, come winter time, that's when the ice hounds are going to come out. So you'll have to be careful for those. They will actually freeze you in place, and then you'll be susceptible to attack. So when you get attacked by hounds and you've got ice hounds, usually they come alongside regular hounds as well. So just make sure, and I'm going to collect some gold here too, because gold is always good to have. But when you're fighting ice hounds and regular hounds, kill the ice hounds first, because if they freeze you, then they and the regular hounds will have pretty much a free shot at you when you get your butt frozen. Alright. Looking for silk. I should probably have my spear in hand. Woohoo! Alright, there's the silk we're looking for. We need to get 4 more of those for the hat. I also need to get 1 more of those for the boomerang, because while winter is out, it would be awfully nice if I could get the koalefant, which we saw the koalefant tracks previously, and like I said before, it runs too fast for me to actually. I think after kiting these guys, I may just destroy that nest. Come on. Oh, for Pete's sake. You die. And you die. I have no patience for this, and they usually, when they come one-on-one, they can't attack me fast enough. Okay. So yeah, as far as the koalefant goes, it runs too fast for you to actually catch it, so you need to have some sort of projectile weapon, or you have to trap it up against the coastline, which is pretty dang hard. So, yeah, we got ourselves 7. That's pretty good. 7. It's also a good idea to have rocks. Grab some of those. Because, oh, well, phooey on you. Okay. Because one thing that I also want to make, because I want to know when winter's coming up. And, of course, you can do that with the day-night cycle, but it's not always the most reliable method. But a more reliable method is to make a thermometer. Let me just set up my campfire here, running low on logs. Okay, so what we need to make a thermometer, here it is, thermal measurer. I don't have the boards for it, I've only got 1 gold nugget. So I'll need to get another gold nugget. Yeah, here we are. Our drying rack is nice and harvested up. Eat ourselves some meatballs. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make ourselves a lovely turkey dinner. Oh, where did I put those? Yep, there we are. There we go. Winner, winner, turkey dinner. Oh, I should never have put that chest there. Alright, so we've got ourselves some beefalo wool. And let's make ourselves a nice, stylish, warm... I know you're in here somewhere. Haha! Winter hat. Okay, so you'll notice that the winter hat says 100% right now. It will actually... oh gosh. I'm going crazy. You'll see these little hands. Ah, they're going to try and extinguish my fire. Keep them away from the fire. When you got 2, you kind of got to chase them down like this. Try and chase them as far away from the fire as you can. If you can get them all the way towards the back. Okay. You'll hear that little boom sound and they'll be extinguished permanently. So if you can do that early on, which is a lot easier to do when you don't have a bunch of them, I'm just going to murder up some of these rabbits. Alright. Oh, my space seriously getting out of hand. Just gonna murder. Because we're gonna have a pretty good supply of rabbits. I'm not too worried about that. I am worried about my pack space because I gotta do a bunch of gathering. I can't do that very well if I'm bogged down. So we don't need that anymore, don't need that anymore. We'll take this. Cook ourselves up some food. Where did I put my berries? Yeah. Alright. I need to gather up some logs. Chop, chop, chop. Where is... There it is. I'm going to gather up some logs because I want to make my thermal measurer so I know when winter comes. Now, you'll actually know when winter is here because everything will take on a slightly bluish cast. All of the rabbits will turn into snowshoe bunnies, so they'll be cute and white and fluffy. And instead of rain, you'll have snow. So snow will start falling. Eventually it'll cover everything. You won't be able to see the roads. It'll be all white and fluffy and frigid cold. And if you get away from your heat source for too long, you will actually start to freeze. So you remember in the first episode when I was out in the dark and I didn't have a campfire, and you saw the ice kind of forming around the edges of the screen? That's the first stage of freezing. Now, at that point, it's basically just a warning sign. You're not taking any damage. If it gets to the second stage, the ice will come in even further, and the edges of the screen will turn red, and that's when you're taking damage. And you'll take damage just on a constant basis until you die. So you want to avoid that at all costs, but it'll still give you a little bit of time to get back to heat. Still, at the same time, it's really good to have the materials to make a fire on you at all times. And that's one important reason to have plenty of grass and twigs and logs on you, is if you need to, just stop, build a campfire, warm up a little bit, and that'll reset the freezing timer. Now, I am going to take a quick detour because I noticed something. You might have noticed this too, but you remember that bulb we planted way back when? Well, this is what it looks like now. And if I get close to one of these eyes, it'll attack me. So, really nasty little buggers. Fortunately, they go down with one hit. You just kind of carve a path to the center, and you kill it, and they all disappear, and you get a bulb, which I really don't want. I'm going to store it in my backpack. And you also get, once it's gotten to that point, it'll have leafy meat. You can cook it, you can eat it. I don't think you can actually use it in the crock pot. It's not really so important that you want to farm it or anything. I mean, it only gives you a little bit of hunger back, only gives you a little bit of health back, so it's not really a major deal. Honestly, whenever I get these fleshy bulbs, just use them in the campfire. Because you can actually use them for fuel, which is great, because, you know, you can always use more fuel. Fire is a good thing. So, let's see if there's anything else I need to think of. Oh, let's see, I did mention the bird cage. With the bird cage, that requires reeds, which you'll have to go all the way down to the swamp for, but it is totally worth all of the trip, because once you have a bird cage, you can put a bird in it, and this will do a couple of different things. So, with the bird in the bird cage, let's say, for example, I've got seeds. Well, I can't plant the seeds in the wintertime, and the seeds will gradually go bad during the wintertime. So, probably by the end of winter, all of the seeds will be all nasty and spoiled, and I won't be able to use them in time. Well, guess what? If you've got a bird cage, and you feed the seeds to the bird, it will give you back fresh seeds. So you can basically refresh your seeds all winter long, and you don't have to worry about them going bad. The other thing is, if you feed the bird meat, and that can be a spoiled morsel, or it can be a piece of cooked monster meat, pretty much any edible meat that's not raw monster meat, it will spit out an egg. And the egg is really useful in a recipe that I really enjoy called bacon and eggs. It requires 2 eggs and 1 major meat and 1 minor meat. So that's usually, for me, it's a morsel and a monster meat. Ah, run back, run back. I'm cutting it so darn close again. Me and my bad habits. So yeah, bacon and eggs is really, it's a really good food for the wintertime. It's a good way to use up the monster meat, because that's another thing that you can do to get food, is you can go down and harvest your spiders. They'll still come out in the wintertime. You'll have hounds attack you. They'll drop monster meat. There's more food for you right there. Another really great source of food is penguins, and when we get to the wintertime section of this episode, I'll show you how to kill and survive killing the penguins. So, as far as preparation goes, let's see, I needed to make that boomerang. There we go. And I needed to make that thermometer. Yes, I know, I pronounced it terribly. Terrible, terrible. I don't have the gold for the thermometer right now. And I can go all the way over here, and I can't tell the difference between the boulders, but we'll go over there and get some gold, and then after I've made the thermometer, then we'll pretty much be set for the winter time. I'll go out and gather some more grass and twigs, and then we'll cut to the actual winter time so we're not wasting all our time waiting for winter. Alright. Let's see. Now, one of my viewers, Radar, some series of numbers, but Radar, told me that I could actually get over there by using these wormholes. I can't remember which wormhole goes over that way, so we'll figure it out. Let me see if I can store it in there. Yeah, I've got space. Great. And we'll store some emergency logs in there. Always good to have emergency fuel sitting by your fire. Alright. Let's check this one. Where are we at? Ah, perfect. Alright, so thank you so much for that comment, because that would have saved me tons of time before, and it has definitely saved me tons of time now. I can run out here and grab my rocks, grab my gold, and even if I need to come out here in the wintertime, it'll still save me, because trying to run all of this way while trying to stay warm is not a very easy thing to do. I'm trying to recall. I may have said this, I may not have, but when you go out, you want to have those 2 things, and I'm fairly sure we went over the hats and the clothing that you want to have. I know we went over the winter hat and the ear buffs. There's also a couple of vests that you can make out of the koalefant trunk. Those are nice and warm. Also, your beard, as it grows longer, will help you keep warm. In fact, when your beard gets to be full length, it provides just as much warmth as the winter hat, if not more. So definitely store up that beard, and then shave it off in the summertime, because that'll kill you if you're playing Reign of Giants. You can't get heat stroke in the original vanilla version, but in Reign of Giants, you don't want to stay warm. All right. Gather all these resources. I think that's plenty of gold for now. I'll just go ahead and head back down. So aside from warm clothing, there is one other thing that you want to have, and that is a thermal stone. And that's another reason for me being up here and gathering rocks, is because you use rocks, make a thermal stone, and then you set it by the fire. And the fire will heat up the thermal stone, and it'll hold that heat. And then when you carry it with you, you've got your own little personalized source of warmth. So between the clothing and the thermal stone, you can keep yourself nice and warm, and you can travel out further, get more stuff done, have adventures, hunt koalefant, and not feel like you're completely trapped at base camp. I am going bug nuts. I need to make some sanity. We'll gather up all these things. All right. Well, let me go ahead and make my thermal measure. That way I can clearly tell when it's going to be wintertime. And you can see right now, it's nice and toasty warm. I don't have to worry about it. Also go ahead and make that boomerang, because I wanted to make that boomerang. Let me get the charcoal for that. It's in... Here we are. Oh, hey, I did have a gold. What can I drop? What can I drop? Well, we'll put the jerky in there for right now. Here we go. There we go. So we've got our boomerang for hunting koalefant. We've got our winter hat. All of our berry bushes are nice and waiting for everything to be harvested. Alright. Well, at this point I'm going to call the preparation done. And I will go ahead and skip ahead to the winter time so you can see what happens when it's actually time to start surviving the winter.
Hey everyone! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and make sure to subscribe for more videos in the future.